I'm Brian Anderson, here with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And with us on the sidelines, we've got Allie LaForce. And so off the tip, it's the Trailblazers. Here's Williams. Right side Sharp. Henderson for three. They get the rebound. From the arc. Connects from down. Town.
Oh, good three ball by Henderson. Now, this is the part of his game that he wants to keep developing.
Out to the right wing. Horford with it. Henderson picks him up. Here's White. Yes! Great play by Horford to set him up. You know, on paper, this looks like a lopsided matchup, but anything can happen in the NBA, Grant.
That is the truth. I mean, that's why they play the games. One guy gets hot, a team gets cold. That's all it takes to swing the entire outcome of a game.
Here's Henderson. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis.
Got to be careful shooting around Porzingis. His length is so capable of erasing shots. Great recognition, understanding that that one is all him.
Yeah, beating everyone up the floor and finishes off the break.
And they're running. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
That's good hustle. Tatum beating several guys up the floor, putting himself in a position to contribute.
The drive by Henderson. It's Williams, high post. Oh, he missed the layup. He had it with the pump fake. And, Coach, you look at Derek White, maybe not the biggest name, but he is a winning player.
Yeah, Brian, he's one of the most underrated players in the league. He's got a great feel for the game at both ends of the court. He is tremendously solid across the board.
Yeah, and you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
Well, Stanley was a five-time All-Star. Chauncey Billups, just 1 year as an assistant before becoming a head coach.
Yeah, but Brian, Chauncey Billups was a guy that even when he was a player and then as a broadcaster, always thought like a head coach.
And Ayton gets it to go.
Yeah, when you let Ayton get the ball close, it's over. DeAndre is just too skilled.
Good work there as it goes. Tatum's got 6.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Avdia from outside.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Here's White. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. One thing you can say about Boston, Grant, they know how to put a team together.
Yeah, the Celtics' consistency of winning is just impressive, both now and throughout their entire history. They are really the gold standard in this league, and it's mostly because of great draft picks and great trades.
Offensive rebound. The kick out to Williams. Pass to Ayton. Got a piece of it. Tatum with a steal. To the paint. Out of bounds. It'll be Portland's ball. We've got 1:55 left in the first quarter here. Henderson left side. 4-3. And Williams punches it home.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanting to close the gap. Makes sense to get aggressive on the glass here. Kick out to Brown. Back to Tatum. Launches a 3. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Pass to Henderson. Gets it to go. His second make in 6 tries.
Yeah, so much energy when Henderson is on the floor.
It's Brown on the wing. Elbow shot. And Ayton pulls it down.
That's a decent look for him. He just couldn't convert.
Henderson scanning the floor. Avdia, right side. Pass to Williams. And Williams punches it home.
Well, if you're going to let him get that close to the rim, that's what's going to happen. Leaving no room for error with the slam.
Now here's White. He's got 6. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
I didn't see that coming. He sinks a pretty dicey shot.
There's a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Henderson for 3. Porzingis grabs the board. Celtics lead by 3. Lets it fly. White can't hit. Henderson, right side. White with a steal. Derek White getting it done for the Boston Celtics. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And for Boston guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious they were well prepared defensively coming in.
KYP, know your personnel. So far, good attention to the scouting report.
Back to Cornette. 6 on the shot clock. Outside, Brown. And it's Portland with a rebound.
Well, I know he can finish at the rim, but the defense did just enough to force the miss.
Now Ayton. Ooh, poked away. Tatum with a steal. And here we go, the Celtics on the run.
And so much power out of Tatum. Look at the elevation.
Blazers trail by 5. You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken, but that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need to be loud or act out. He lets his work on the court do all the talking for him.
Tatum on the drive. Oh, my goodness!
What a dunk!
We don't always get to see this from Tatum, adding the sizzle to the steak.
Back to Ayton. Another shot. And stolen by Brown. Pass to Cornette. And Ayton pulls it down. And Ayton has got the ball here for Portland. No points yet here in the second quarter for him. Robert Williams, one tough customer right there.
And if I'm his coach, I'm very pleased with this kind of energy on the offensive glass. It's a textbook play.
Holiday, unable to get that one. Blazers trail by 5. Outside Sharp, going inside, and the foul called on Kristaps Porzingis. That's his first foul of the game. Boston making a switch here. Here's Sharp. Yet to see a basket. Williams with the screen. Fires the 3. Rebound Boston. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, after some down years in Dallas, Kristaps Porzingis said, "I really checked myself. From that point on, I started building my game back up. Sometimes when you're younger, your physical abilities might already be there, but your mental is not. Once that all clicks, that's when you've got something."
Well, that's a good way to think of it. Thanks, Allie. Blazers trail by 5. Grant, there's a huge difference between talent on paper versus winning.
You're right, B.A., and it comes down to coaching, chemistry, and sacrifice. But I think the biggest thing is effort. All things being equal, the team that plays the hardest is going to win.
Williams with the screen. Here's Henderson. Back to Williams. No good that time. Celtics lead by 5. Outside Porzingis. And Scoot Henderson picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Boston making a switch here. On defense, the Trailblazers. Their defense has only allowed 4 points in the quarter. And stolen by Williams. Here's Ayton. Oh, and the jam by Ayton.
Yeah, looking at Ayton using all of his height and reach, slamming it down on a helpless defense.
And that one's good. Porzingis.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
He came out today planning to do as much damage from three-point range as possible. Well, it looks like it's time to change up the plan, guys.
And the basket by Holiday.
He's such a gritty player. Holiday fights for 2 there inside. A strong finish to cut into that lead a little.
Man, left no doubt with that one, Grant. Celtics lead by 5. 50 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Soft touch off the glass.
Yeah, in the paint, Holiday's agility makes him tough to contain. He just needs a little space to go to work. I'll tell you, those finishes are always extra special when they come from your point guard.
Oh, forget about his passing. Can we see more dunking?
Wow, that is an impressive vertical for a point guard. My goodness.
Brown, no good. Blazers trail by 5. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Three-pointer Sharp. Hits the three-pointer.
And everybody wants to see what kind of range Sharp has. It looks like the NBA three-point line won't be a problem for him.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. So it's Boston now. Inside, White gets it to go.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
Henderson for 3. Porzingis grabs the board. Up in time. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. It's the Celtics. They're up by 4. And will return shortly. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. Celtics lead by 4. Well, the truth is, Stan, you lose a franchise legend like Damian Lillard, it really changes your identity.
Oh, it does, Brian. Their offense ran through Lillard for over a decade. Last year was almost a total reset. Now someone has to step up and be that guy.
White, good.
Another shot right in the lane. That's been their MO this evening.
They set the pick. Simons with it. Now guarded by Brown. Here's Klingon. And he drives in. No stopping him there. Jams it in. And he's fouled. An opportunity at a three-point play. That one on Tatum. Boston making a switch here. Coach, you talk about guys who are always upping their game. How about Anthony Simons?
Well, Brian, I feel like he's one of the truly under-the-radar scorers in this league. He's put in a lot of time and work, never satisfied with himself or his game, and he just keeps getting better.
Simon, the right side. And there's the foul. It's on Anthony Simons. That's his first foul of the game.
I love great defense. Just quick to establish his feet, and he takes the hit.
Here's Tatum. Over to the left wing. Here's Cornette. No good on the triple. Blazers trail by 3. Pass to Klingon. Brown with the steal. 90 seconds into the second half now. And there's the foul. It'll go on Matisse Thybulle. That's his first foul of the game. Horford outside. Fires the 3. Gets the 3 to fall. Horford's got his first 3 points of the game.
You see the great fundamentals. Horford sets up for the quick shot off the feed. No hesitation.
Pass to Graham. The 3. Drops in the 3.
Exchanging buckets from downtown. That's been a staple of tonight's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Out to Horford. Outside White. 4 on the clock. Grant with a steal. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
The Blazers have a lot to learn. Coach Chauncey Billups said, I owe it to these players to coach them. The only way I know to do that is with honesty. It's always coming from a good place. Once you know that, then you take it with love. I lead with love. I don't lead with fear. Brian?
That's a Hall of Fame mentality, Allie. He's been in their shoes. They set the pick for the tie. Horford pulls it in. Boston leading by 3. White on the wing. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. Here's Cornette. And he banks in the layup. And the Celtics lead by 5.
Keeping pace here. That's an excellent move inside. Not many guys are going to want to get in Klingon's way on that drive. I mean, just a terrific flush right there.
Ooh, here's White on the drive. And count it. Now 5 for 7.
And defensively, that's just not going to cut it.
Simons with it. Picked up by Tatum. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. From deep. Fires in the triple.
That's inexcusable defense right there. You got to contest the shot better than that.
Outside White for 3. Portland grabs the miss.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
To the inside. Here's Kamari. And now we have an intentional foul. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, bizarre play, B.A. Not sure what got into him. I mean, I'm just not sure what he was thinking right there. I mean, he needs to get his head in the game.
Here's Klingon. Over Porzingis. Tried to bank it in, but it misses. Grant, they could attempt a 2 for 1 here.
They could. The key here is a good look.
And here's Holiday. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. Holiday's got 6. Thybulle on the wing. 17 seconds left in the third quarter. And he jams it home with authority.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And, guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that. Terrific ball movement leading to the basket. You love to see it.
And we've reached the end of the third. Boston out in front. They lead by 4. All right, we're going to step aside for just...
The Trailblazers, 35.
And with 3... quarters behind us, we'll start the fourth in what is still anybody's ball game. Blazers trail by 4. Ayton with a screen. Releases. Here's Williams. Rebounded by the Celtics. Outside Tatum. Into the lane. And here's Brown for three. Yes, great play by Horford to set him up. Brown's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And Ayton with the stuff.
Yeah, great find right there by Henderson. He is such a gifted facilitator.
Outside, Brown. Oh, look at Brown banging inside.
Yeah, I'd call this ideal scoring distance. It's almost too easy.
Down low. Pass to Williams. Avdia from outside. He buries it from three.
Cool, calm, and collected at a critical juncture in this game.
Three-pointer, Holiday. And again, Boston with the triple.
Yeah, showing off his competitive fire. Holiday was eager to get a three of his own.
Here's Ayton. And Ayton with the stuff.
The reverse slam, that was sweet.
Ah, the finesse on full display. Here's Holiday. And Ayton pulls it down. Blazers trail by 5. Avdia with it. Now guarded by Brown. Outside Sharp. The three is up. Here's Ayton. Tries yet again. Williams misses.
Well, if they've been saving one of their favorite plays, now is the time to use it.
Outside Porzingis. Outside Brown. Back to Porzingis. Just 4 to shoot. And the shot no good. A bit short.
When the defense is playing off you like that, you want to be able to convert. But that time, he just couldn't get it done.
Pass to Ayton. Avdia outside. Off target from outside.
They need buckets to stay in this game. That's not the shot they're looking for.
Here's Tatum. And finished by Tatum. Wow!
Having added so much strength, Tatum can take the contact and stay balanced.
All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Boston.
Well, I love how they're attacking the rim. That will usually force defenses to collapse and open up a lot of outside shots.
Sinks it from distance.
And these are exactly the moments where you find out if a player is tough enough for the NBA. And Sharp showing no fear in a clutch situation.
And how about that finish? Not sure if he needed to get that fancy, but it'll be a nice adrenaline burst for him.
Pass to Avdia. From downtown. He's off on that one. They've got time on their side here, Grant.
And if they're smart, they'll milk the clock a little.
Inside. To the wing, right side. Porzingis for three.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Henderson for three. Hits the trifecta.
Key points from Henderson. Stepping up. Scoop, young man, scoop.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. The pressure is on, and he's got a plan to share with his guys. Making a switch here. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Over the break, I listened in on Joe Mazzulla's huddle. They implored their guys to maintain their focus. The message was, don't commit any bad turnovers and no easy buckets. A simple message, Brian.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. Porzingis misses. From behind the arc. Kamari, no good. Oh, lots of drama in this game so far.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the final buzzer.
And now we've got an intentional foul.
First personal foul. 17 foul.
44 seconds left to play in the fourth. Here's Tatum. Look at Tatum using his length.
And this guy is made for these moments. Tatum, the big-time shot.
Pass to Rupert. Here's Kamari. Three-pointer. Porzingis grabs the board. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
The line for 2.
And so he drops them both, and it's an 8-point ball game.
At this point, it just feels like it's over.
Yeah, time is not on their side. The score is not on their side. Nothing you can do.
On the wing, Tatum. And here's Horford for three. No good. So we see Boston get the win